how y'all doing? I have not heard from y'all in a while. Okay, well, y'all haven't heard from me in a while because I have not vlogged since August. And yo, so much has happened. I had to drop in and hit y'all with a vlog. Not saying I'm about to come out of retirement and do one every week like I did before, but it's the end of the year. And I definitely just wanted to like touch base with y'all. Like I said, so much has happened. The day I posted my last vlog, if I'm not mistaken, it was that same exact day. Um, was at the end of August, and I was hanging out. Like I had got surprised with a little party,
Good hands, good feet. Good Lord, it's time to eat.
and I was just hanging out with my homegirl, and she was on her phone, and we found out about this tragedy with Chadwick Boseman passing away, and that was like his death was is something that's really sad for me. Like it was kind of like one that was hard for me to accept. Not only because, the normal like we didn't know. Not that he owes us, information or explanation, but it was like I didn't know what was going on with him, but I knew something was going on with him, and it was kind of obvious if you saw him. He did not look like himself, and I follow him on Instagram, and so I saw in his stories, and I don't know if every like people have seen it now, but I don't know if people saw it, how many people saw it before, and he was so frail. It wasn't just that he was small, because he's a skinny guy more or less, but he was really frail, and I remember praying for him, and it just, kind of just like I just thought, he's the Black Panther. Like, whatever's going on with him, it's gonna be all right in a minute. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be fine. But it wasn't. And I don't know, man. Like, you say to yourself, just accept it. Things happen. But then at the same time, sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like this should have happened to him, and I wasn't ready, and all of that. But that happened. Um, I wanted to vlog about it. Didn't know what to say about it. Um, and other than that, man, life was what it was. It had its challenges, it had its whatevers, and the thing is, you know, I mean, I'm sure you've heard there was this trendy disease this year. It was like the biggest story. And what's so weird is that I'm not usually one to get caught up in trends, but I did with this particular thing. Didn't really plan to, didn't really want to, didn't really try to, but it kind of happened organically. I got this trendy new virus that everybody was getting and talking about this year, and I avoided the test like the plague because I did not want. When I saw the test, I watched that test one time. I've only seen it one time, and I was like, I ain't doing that. I said, I'm not getting this disease because I'm not getting this test. Okay, but once I realized that I might need to make sure, under the circumstances, um, I was having some symptoms, but I was like, it could just be this, it could be that, but I was like, nah, I gotta think about other people. So I went ahead and got tested. It was positive, and like I said, my symptoms were there, but they weren't that bad. I was doing okay, you know, for pretty much 2 weeks. I was good, and then all of a sudden, it started to exacerbate a pre-existing issue that I had. And if you know me, then you already know. Um, and if you don't know, I'm going to spare you the details, but I will tell you it was a girl problem. And it's a common problem, or a common issue, I should say, um, but it doesn't always affect everybody the same way. Most people do fine with it, and then some people don't. I actually knew I had this issue 2 years ago, but I was okay. I was seeing, I had some pain sometime, and little stuff like that. But I was like, I'm good. Then all of a sudden, it just was like, boom! It just hit like a ton of bricks, and I was in so much pain that I really, honestly do not know how to describe it. The only way I could try to explain to you is I would compare it to possibly being in labor all day, every day, 24 hours a day with no breaks. That's how much pain I was in. Um, I couldn't lay down. I couldn't walk. I couldn't stand up. Sitting down was difficult. Absolutely everything. Like I was always in pain all of the time. It was no relief. I ended up in the ER. First, I went to urgent care. They prescribed me pain medicine that was really strong, but I was also allergic to it, and so that made my pain worse. But it also made me sick, and so then I ended up in the ER. Um, and it was crazy because I had my little mask on, and this lady, she was asking me about it. So it's like in between, like I'm like, oh, oh, ow. And I know they're trying to like talk to me to calm me down. And so they asked me about my mask. So I'm like, yeah, that's my pastor. Uh, he's putting out his last album this year, and he made these. It was crazy. And so I'm telling her about it, and she thought it was really cool. And she wrote down like all his information. She said she's gonna look him up on Facebook, and because she had like kids that she was teaching hip hop dance to, and it was this whole thing. And so anyway, that happened. Um, and they put me on. That's when they, did the CT scans and stuff like that, and they basically let me know like, yes, you have this issue. We see your file, and the issue you have is much much worse now. And so we did that. Um, then I ended up back in the ER again, just from so much pain. It would not end. For like a month, y'all. I was in labor, you know, but I wasn't having a baby, and it was really ironic and almost annoying. And when I tell y'all, I cried every day for weeks. I mean, I cried. I cried from pain. I cried because God, it's not fair. Why is this happening to me? Um, just you know everything, and I was hurting. Like I cannot explain to y'all how much pain I was in. And as you can see, I have come a very long way. I'm not in a wheelchair anymore. From time to time, you might see me in a scooter at the store because it is still somewhat challenging at times for me to walk. I can get tired from it, from the like pain, because like I said, I still have pain. Well, I didn't say that, but I still have pain. It's just not nearly as bad. Um, Not taking anything for pain right now. I'm taking supplements to actually make my body better. So that I think is what's really helping me even more so than the pain medicine was. So keep me in your prayers because, like I said, with that was the blessing in the curse that of this disease for me was facing the actual issue that was there, that was getting worse, that I was ignoring, that needed to be fixed. And so I expect not only to be restored but to also be even better than I was before. And I think that's, like I said, that's the blessing behind it. It was like, okay, you can now, you need to know that this is, because I didn't realize it had gotten that serious. And in talking to people about it, how it could affect my future and my hopes. So I'm really thankful for it. As crazy as that sounds, because I was in pain, but I am thankful that it helped me to like face my actual issue and get that taken care of. So one of two miracles is going to happen. Either one, God is going to miraculously heal my body to where I don't need a surgery, or two, God is going to miraculously give me enough money to afford a surgery. And if you've had a surgery and you've seen medical bills, which I already have and cannot pay, then you know it is going to be a miracle for somebody like me to afford a surgery. Okay, let's just go there. Um, so one of those two things are going to happen. Um, but that's just an update on that. In the middle of all of that, I've been painting, writing, um, and just kind of like thinking about pursuing some at a greater level my purpose and my gifts. And that's one of the things about Mr. Dell. putting out his last album and everything, and just listening to him do interviews and stuff, it was like the way he believed in his gifts is such an encouragement to me all the time, but even more so now, just seeing how he did it so long. And so really grateful for just everything that God is doing. So like I said, I've been pursuing that a little bit, and definitely going to do that even more moving forward. And I thought about 2020, and everybody is talking about how terrible 2020 is, and it's just the worst year ever. And I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that. And I thought about it. I said, well, I could complain. I said, but I feel like everything I could complain about are things that everybody could complain about. And on the flip side of that, God has been really, really great to me this year. And everything that I can testify about and give glory to God about um, this year, in retrospect, is were things that were very personal and very individualized. And it made me think about kind of just the way this year went. I really feel like, with them telling us to avoid small groups, and the whole quarantine situation and stuff like that, I really feel like it was God kind of trying to get us centered back. I'm not saying God put this disease out there, but I really feel like my perspective on it is He wanted me, I can definitely speak for me, to not only get closer to Him and hear Him better and focus on His voice rather than hearing so much, but also myself. When you can't just leave the house and go out and hang out with people to avoid everything that's going on with you, this could be it. I think it could be in your atmosphere, but it also could be in your, within yourself, with mental and even physical health. When you're so busy being social and not dealing with yourself, it's a little different. So I think it was really kind of His way, or I think that He used that time in my life to kind of remind me to kind of recenter and refocus, and then that's the thing, like the great things that He did were like things that were so in line with even my vision board and things that I wanted from Him, or that I want from Him. I seen Him work in leaps and bounds in those areas, whereas prior to that, when I'm hanging around everybody else and I'm listening to everybody else's influence and everybody else's goals and what other people, wanted for me, and you should do this, and you should do that, and you should do that, and it starts to make you feel like, or started to make me feel like I was behind, like I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that. And it was like, no, but the things that are actually important to me, the things I really want from God, and the things that God really wants from me, He's been on it this year in a very, very concentrated and very purposeful way. And I can't do nothing but thank Him for that. And I really think that we need to get on board with that. And the quicker we get on board with that, the time, I feel like, of not being in these big groups and hanging around everybody will actually do us better, because it'll go faster, because you will enjoy God working on you and doing your stuff, your personal stuff. So I'm really thankful for all of that, and that is my time. I don't have any more time to talk, because I only have 15 minutes on my vlog. So like, comment, subscribe, because you'll never know when I'm going to pop up. It might be 6 months, it might be 6 weeks, it might be 6 days, it might be 6 hours. But happy New Year, y'all. Happy 2020 too, but also happy 2021. Peace!
God, it's a prayers like crumbling. And them demons I be shaking, get them all, shake 'em off.